Hey guys, welcome to Stock Rock, SSTV's local band interview show. Today, in our final episode, I'll be sitting down and talking with Track Jackets, a Philly-based band. It's time to turn it up and rock out. Hey guys, this is Track Jackets. You just saw a wonderful performance by the band. Congratulations, that was great. Thanks for being on the show. So this is Matt, Adrian, Steve, and Sean. So guys, welcome. Why don't you start to tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from, how long you've kind of been a band. So.
Elevator speech. Okay, so my name's Matt. This is the first band I've been in, and besides Apple Catch, which was like a 3-week stint, it didn't work out well. And yeah, so I actually I was in graduate school, and I played guitar for a while, and I started wanting to play with a band. So I did the Craigslist thing, and that's how I saw Adrian's music. Adrian was more of like a singer-songwriter, but that's what his recordings were like, and he was looking to expand into a full band and turn those songs into like an actual band songs, 4-piece songs. And so that's how I found out about him. And then we started jamming. Then we met Sean, and then worked from there. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Steve, where did you come into the picture?
So I'm the newest member of the band. I joined this past August of 2013. And I was in bands for the past 7, 8 years or so, and then I kind of took a little bit of a break. I was trying to do some more like studio work. And I was just the same thing. I was looking on Craigslist trying to find out some session gigs here and there. And they had an ad out for a bass player. They had just lost their previous bassist. And checked out the music. I really dug the sound. I liked Adrian's voice, and went out, did a quick audition, and hired me on the spot basically.
Yeah.
It was actually the second time that we had talked to Steve, because when we originally started the group, Steve replied to our ad, and he
I was
listened.
really jaded at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. He listened to our music and was like, he's like, you know what? I don't really see that working.
Yeah.
I didn't say
And
that.
then fast forward a year, and here he is.
And now look, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have like kind of a like what would you compare your sound to, or your influences musically?
Wow.
Yeah, this is kind of the $1 million question with us.
Yeah.
Because we have, I think, influences from a few different pools.
Genres
We
and
have some
stuff,
sound-
yeah.
we have
Yeah,
some
you're kinda
sounds,
mixed.
right, that are sort of like indie rock, indie pop kind of sounds. Also, some like alternative rock sounds. We also listen to like a lot of '80s stuff too, which has kind of made a comeback in the
Yeah.
last few years. So it's kind of a blend of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've heard people kind of say, like, especially your voice, he's got kind of like a Michael Stipe REM type of voice, and
Yeah.
other people have said like, more like Death Cab for Cutie, kind of that like kind of indie rock sound.
Yeah. Whatever it is, I like it. It's really good.
Thanks.
How long have you? So you've all been. When did you start? Like, has it been a couple of years, or has it been in like the past? I know you just
Summer
recently.
of-
Last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're kinda
summer
in the scene.
20.
Our first bassist joined the band, May of 2012?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We had our first show July 2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you normally play. You're based out of Philly. Are you guys? Is that where y'all live? Y'all live in Philly and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And that's where you play shows locally there, or do you travel? These things.
Most of our stuff is in Philly.
Yeah.
We've kind of just revolved around mostly Philly bar scene, and we've done some other shows. There's a lot of there's a basement scene in Philadelphia. It's kind of a DIY thing, and we like to be involved in that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, I'd say the most fun show was probably for me the most fun show was definitely the basement show that we played so far,
Yeah.
which is Don't Tread on Me House. It's in East Falls in Philadelphia. Recommend that if you guys are ever around Philly. It's right by
Good to know.
Manayunk. Anyway, that was probably the most fun. I mean, the whole basement is packed. Everybody's jumping around. They're singing the chorus to our song. They're like, how do you even know this? This is just so weird. And the bar scenes are they're fun to play, but it's just it's so, I don't know. I think we gravitate more towards or I personally
Sure.
like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
DIY
Well,
stuff.
the bar scene in Philadelphia, it's harder to get exposure to new people.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the scene.
It's the same kind of crew. That's that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's pretty much where we play. We haven't played. Is this our first show outside of
It is.
Pennsylvania?
This is the first time we've left
There
Pennsylvania.
we go.
I'm honored. I'm
Yeah,
honored on our
yeah.
show. Yay.
So yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just bouncing around the Philly scene. That's pretty much it.
So you consist of drum, bass, and 2 lead guitarists, and you're the main vocalist,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Do you write the songs, or is it a collaborative effort?
Well, typically I'll come to the band with a skeleton of a song, and it's kind of usually it's just a melody and some chords, maybe a little guitar riff or something like that, and we'll just kind of bounce ideas off each other and build the arrangement around that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. It sounds great. It's really good. Matt, I have to say, when you're up on stage, I observed, I have never seen somebody have such the ability to multitask on stage between you're playing the guitar, but you're moving your feet all over the place like a soundboard.
Yeah,
How did you develop that skill?
I think it's just me. I think it's honestly me not being efficient with the pedal board, honestly. But yeah, I mean, and as you probably well know, I don't sing. I don't look up a lot and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's
You're
because
very
I'm focused
concentrated.
on the
You're
pedal
all right, I
board.
gotta do this.
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of my stuff is just very more effect heavy than actually playing complicated riffs. So I just tend to focus bounce, press a lot of pedals, and see what happens.
Well, a lot of our sound, I
It's
think,
a skill. Let me tell you, I could never do that.
it is. I mean, he looks like he's dancing on the board
Yeah.
there sometimes, and it's a big part of our sound because of the tones that Matt gets for his guitar. You can look at different bands different ways and see sometimes bands are focused on just having a lead singer really be the focus of everything.
Yeah.
Other times you'll have a guitar player just do a lot of blues licks and lead things all over. And for us, it's more just conveying a sound, and we all try to do that with our own instruments, I think. But Matt's tone is a very important part of our sound because of that.
Yeah, he brings a lot. He brings a different when he's up there and he does his like little thing, it's like a whole new aspect to the sound.
Absolutely.
It sounds really, really good. Do you guys spend a lot of time practicing? Do you get together a lot? Do you perform a lot, or is it like sporadic whenever you can?
Yeah, I mean, we
other
we try to
things?
practice once a week, and sometimes, you know, we do it like we all have, you know,
Their own-
full-time jobs and stuff like that. So we try to do it once a week, and we try to play a show at least like once a month. It really depends. Like I think in January we played like 4 different
Yeah.
places.
Well,
So,
we'll hit points too where we're ready to start. We're ready to start writing new material or anything like that. And we find that, you know, the weekly practices that we have don't necessarily give us enough time to really just mess around with things. So
Yeah.
usually when we're in that phase in whatever we're doing,
Yeah.
we'll do like a Sunday or Saturday practice so we can have like a full afternoon to just kind of mess around with things and see what comes
and
out.
actually have like fun with it instead of like having like the pressure on. Like, oh man, it's
Yeah,
like
you can
Right,
relax
clock
and
now.
just like jam
Yeah.
and
Yep,
figure it out.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And sometimes the best like creation of song comes out of moments like that when
Yep.
you're just up there and you're just doing whatever, and that's
Yeah.
cool.
Right. Yeah, and the one song that we played today, it's called Ghost Coast, and Matt and I wrote that song together. He came up with the chorus, and I came up with the one riff. But it really came out of just jamming and practice, and we
Yeah.
had time to do that. We kind of had parts of things, and then, you know, Matt and I could go back, sit down, and kind of put it together. Where do we want to have this piece of this song?
Yeah.
And so it's important to have days like that where you can kind of loosen up
Yeah.
and just jam out and see what happens.
Well, we also, I mean, you never know what's going to come out too. Like with Ghost Coast, the way, like my drum part on the chorus of that is kind of unconventional in the sense that it follows Adrian's vocals, which is something we don't normally do, and it kind of.
Those sounds like back to back.
Yeah, it
Right.
felt kind of wrong initially, but it worked,
Yeah.
and then
We have a flourish on the vocal line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's accenting on like on the vocals, which is every single pass.
Yeah.
Of it, it's a different accent.
Yeah.
which is
So,
like-
but it was something that we were like, well, we've never done this before, and it seems to be working, and so let's just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
And the cool thing with me being the new guy is that, these are songs that they had, kind of worked out with the previous bass player, but like never really took it anywhere. So then they'll just, the practice throw it at me, and it's like, all right, let's see what we can do. And, more often than not, it's kind of like taking on a new life.
Yeah, no, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
And you bring your own element to it too, because you're
Yeah.
going to play a different bass than any
Right.
guy they ever had before. So.
Right. Yeah.
And it all works out. It sounds great. Now, if you guys could perform with any band right now or in the past, if you could go on tour and open for somebody, individually, who would you pick?
Sean,
represent your band.
Sean, you
To
probably
represent,
think about
yeah.
the most. So you go.
That's
Your dream.
That's a loaded question. I don't know. Why don't you guys answer first?
This is for me. It's going to become more like what's my favorite bands now.
Yeah.
Like, sort of like
Yeah.
big things. So I mean, man, I don't know. I would love to open up for My Morning Jacket. That would be cool. I would love to open up for White Denim. That would be amazing.
That'd be really cool.
We don't sound like them at all though. So like it's so hard to like figure out like where we'd be aligned with. Man, I don't know. What do you think, Adrian?
Well, if you're looking at it as like timeless, if you can go back in time and
Yeah.
open for somebody, obviously we would all just open for the Beatles.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
You know,
totally.
no, I mean, I would.
That's a dream of
If I could
so
go
many
back
artists.
in time and we were playing in the '80s, I would open for REM
Yeah.
or like the Police. You know,
Clash
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah, the Clash.
Yeah,
Come on,
Clash would be
it-
an
it-
awesome.
But
Yeah.
but I think in terms of like bands that sound more like us that we would really enjoy playing with. I think Matt mentioned Death Cab earlier.
I
Yeah.
love Death Cab. They're one of my
And
favorites.
yeah, and I mean, to play with a band like that, I think would be awesome experience too.
Yeah, I mean, to make it would be I think it'd be more cohesive than like the bands I mentioned. Sure. You know, like,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. So.
But that's been one of our issues with, we never know where and promoters don't know where to put us because
Yeah.
we get put with opposite ends of the spectrum, so we don't necessarily,
You're all over.
we sometimes feel like we don't fit. But we're starting, the more we play out, we're starting to come across bands that I think we would really mesh well. Like, saw this band recently called Restorations. It's based out of Philadelphia, and we're gonna try. I'd like to try to set something up with them down the line. You know, they're much bigger than we are, but it's something where their sound I think could be appreciated by people that like us and vice versa. So I mean, for me, I guess thinking now, and like in today's time, I would love to open for like Gaslight Anthem, or I don't know, maybe the Maine, something like that.
Yeah, well, along the lines of what Sean was just saying, like we've played in the last month, we opened for 2 blues rock bands, and then in a few weeks we're playing with some like heavy punk bands, and then after that we're playing with singer-songwriters.
Yeah, so it's like all over
So
the
you're,
board.
yeah, you're all over
Yeah.
the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You get to like experiment with all these different sounds and
Yeah.
kind of see what you guys like and who you want to,
Yeah.
continue with in the future.
But, yeah.
what was I gonna say? Oh shit.
Well,
I
I
forgot what
have, I
you
mean,
said.
about our sound and sort of like how we get to, we do have like sort of this like, it's so, we never know who we're going to be
Unique.
playing with.
Very,
Yeah, we never know who
very
we're going to be
unique.
playing with next. So like, if like we have two EPs. Our first one is very clean, very like more, I don't know, like the tones are just like
Straight rock.
Yeah, just like
Kinda.
clean and like
Yeah.
and the like this EP, this one, Signal and Noise EP. Yeah, that we try to make like a more like cohesive like sound with that and have a more like indie rock type of sound to it. Just because like we need to be flexible with who we
Yeah.
play with. You know.
So in like 5-10 years, where do you, not even 10, like 5, where do you guys like to see yourselves as a band? Either centrally located, stay here in Philly, or expand and go out west. Like what would you guys like to do if you could?
I think something we've always talked about was, because we all have real jobs and everything else and other responsibilities, but I think for us, I think being a big fish in a little pond, like if we could be a good local band in Philadelphia where
Yeah.
maybe if national acts come through, we could open for them or something like
Yeah.
that. Just something where we get a solid little following there, I think, just so when we play shows, people are singing along to our songs and getting into it. I mean,
Yeah.
We try to take the stuff as it comes because the music industry is so different now than it was
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it's always
And you'll see bands that are out there that are huge bands that have, top 10 singles. And, a lot of times the best thing they can achieve is to have their song be in a commercial.
Yeah.
Whereas like 10, 15 years ago, that was so frowned upon. You like lost all your credibility
Yeah.
if you had your song in a commercial. Now that's a goal for bands.
Yeah.
And so,
It's so hard out there to like make it big. I feel like there's so
Exactly.
many guys like you guys who
Saturated,
just want to
yeah.
try to do it, and it's kind of hard.
Yep, and so, like I said, we just try to take it as it comes, and if there's opportunities for us,
Yeah.
we're going to take
Take
advantage of them. And we're just going to do what we're doing because it really doesn't make a difference. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean,
No.
you have to look at it from a positive point of view, that there's really nothing you can do that's going to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah.
You really
Nothing's
just have to enjoy
guaranteed.
yourself and, play music what you're enjoying, and hopefully other people enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the best for you guys because
We were talking about doing, taking some time, do like, little mini tours, like a week long, 2 weeks long, go up like North Atlantic,
Yeah.
go out to the Midwest, things like that.
Yeah.
So we're not looking to, travel the entire country
Yeah,
in a minivan or anything, but
if,
here
we
and
figure
there.
if nothing else, just to say we've done it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just to go try and travel, and you never know. Like
Yeah.
anything could happen wherever you are. So I hope you guys do. I hope you guys expand and do things.
Thanks.
But for our viewers, where can we find Track Jackets? Are you social media wise or anything like that?
Adrian's
Albums? Where can we get
Just
the albums?
streaming.
Yeah.
Matt,
I thought there's this. Yeah, no. Trackjackets.net is where we like sort of host like all of our videos and content.
It's a table of contents
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
sorts
I mean-
for our social
Everything
media
else.
and other
Yeah.
links.
But yeah, I mean, if you just honestly Google Track Jackets band Philly, and that would be your best bet. And then yeah, all of our stuff is streaming.
You go to
from our-
trackjackets.net. Yeah,
You can find
you can
everything.
get to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, Twitter, our Bandcamp, which hosts our streaming music, which it's all the streaming is free,
Yeah.
and you can order a CD through there. Although we're almost sold out of CDs, which is cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. All our videos get posted to that, and we play a show. Information is right there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
That's great.
to be believed.
It's true
Yes.
dice.
I wish the best of luck for you guys. I hope people go on Facebook, go on Twitter, start following the guys because I feel like I want you guys to go far. At least get to go on your little road trip to other places and stuff like that. Thanks for being on the show, everyone.
Thanks
and thanks for watching Stock Rock. See you guys next time.
See you guys.
Later.
We're Track Jackets, and you're watching Channel 14 SSTV. For reals, true life. It is to be believed.
You guys are stupid.
This has been season 1 of Stock Rock. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
up, guys? We're Track Jackets. Thanks for checking us out. You can get all our stuff on trackjackets.net, find out about our live shows and when we might be coming to town near you.